So welcome back to Fantasy Life. Hopefully everyone's doing alright today. So today, like I said last time, we're going to focus on trying out new job stuff. So, let's see, get this cable situated. Like, I swear, cables are annoying with it. It's almost enough to drive someone to emulation. Anyway. So let's see. We swapped the mine on that, so we're trying out the miner's life a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna try a little bit of each. Well, we only got mining started. Maybe I should try out a different class, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't see going anywhere too far with mining quite yet. What else would we like to try? Yeah, wood cutting. See, the top four are all actual, like, fighting classes. And yeah, fishing, cooking, alchemist, tailoring. But yeah, like, these two, like, each, like, complement into each other, and then you have those. I'd say there's a lot of trees, so I'd say let's try out wood cutting. Oh no, I got kicked way out. Now we go. No, all my energy. Wait, what? Did I accidentally agree to do the starting quest, or... I think I did. I thought maybe he would just give a very basic instructions, but because I really don't want to be bogged down by long. What's going on here? And they won off. You can't tell me what to do. I hoard items. I'm an item hoarder. I do 0 with no SP. Hey, how are you enjoying fantasy life? Well, it's the 3rd day we're playing it, and I'm trying out some of the more, like, walkety jobs now. Oh, we're being interrupted. No more cutting trees for you! Into the forest fire next! But, today we're gonna try out some of the other classes before we move on with the story. But so far, it's still alright. Still just kinda in the middle with it. No, I want to finish chopping the tree. It's not my first time playing a level 5 game. I've played multiple entries of the Professor Layton series. And let's see, there was a... Let's see, there's the... I'm not really sure what it's called. It's a Japanese puzzle game. That's not Professor Layton, but it's still kind of puzzle-oriented. That only came out in Japan. I got that. I played that a little, but the language barrier on that one's a little, obviously a little harder because of being a puzzle thing. Let's see. What else level 5 have I actually played? I'd say just mostly Professor Layton, really, play-wise with level 5. As for Fantasy Life, yeah, this is my first Fantasy Life game. I mean, to be fair, there's only 2 entries. You got this and the newest one that came out, like, last year. So, it's not like there's a giant franchise behind Fantasy Life, but this is the 3rd stream of the 3DS game. Oh, more party members. Let's go out in the wild and little attack monsters. Kind of really wish wanting whether like I get like fantasy Lunar Dragon Song like flashbacks having a resource that gets drained by stamina the way it does. And what's up with this? Can't attack that one. Gotta see what like trees it lets me cut down. See, I can gather these. Got hold everything. Like I've been playing 7 Days to Die with my friends, so I've definitely been in the hoarding stuff. Oh, I could just steal some oak logs. Sweet, you know. Nothing like stealing someone else's hard work, right? No more popular. I do have some yokai. So I do have some of the yokai games. I don't have the 3rd one. That's super expensive. I actually have the 3DS for. No, wait. No, the original came out in the DS, not the 3DS. But I do have the big book DS Nini Kuni and the PS3 Nini Kuni, and I believe I also have Nini Kuni 2. I believe I have a PAL version of the soccer game. I mean, yeah, technically, they did develop Dragon Quest 8 and 9, I believe. I believe after that, they no longer had any real involvement in future ones, even though Square Enix would continue the kind of aesthetic they went with in 3D. I don't think they had anything to do with any future ones after 9. Oh yes, Dark Cloud. That's a level 5 game too, wasn't it? Fuck, man, that's so long ago. Whew. I actually like that kind of slipped my mind. Like, I'm so used to Dark Cloud being more associated with Sony because Sony pushed it a lot, at least in the West. I mean, I never beat Dark Cloud 2, but I did beat Dark Cloud 1. I played the hell out of Dark Cloud 1. That was a good game. Like, that actually honestly slipped my mind. Like, I'm not crazy, right? But Dark Cloud 1 was an excellent game. Dark Cloud 2, I don't know, like, Dark Cloud 2 is not, like, a bad game, but, like, I don't know, for some reason it didn't have that, like, it didn't really captivate me to finish it. Like, I got near the end, I got to, like, the last dungeon, and I don't know, I wasn't really motivated to finish the story. It got really grindy for me. Plus, it didn't help your sidekick's monster powers weren't really useful, to be honest. I think that depends on the region. Like, something a lot of people don't usually consider is, like, different entries of stuff have, like, for example, like, Dragon Quest VII, like, if you ask, like, a basic Western person, they'll probably tell you, like, Dragon Quest VII was a failure. Dragon Quest VII was a huge boom in Japan, though. It was very, very well liked in Japan. And that's just because, like, you know, like, the actual fans of 7, like, viewed it as an RPG. Like, RPGs are about, like, the story, tactical, combat, RPG elements and stuff. Like, Western gamers, a lot of times, either like flashy graphics and story on average. So, like, yeah, of course 7 was considered a failure to a lot of Westerners. So, I honestly didn't really like 9 so much. Like, on concept, I think it had some really nice ideas. Being able to have a whole party of just friends is actually a pretty neat idea and novelty item. Would definitely make a unique playthrough. But, like, I didn't really dig the story in 9. Like, I always feel like Dragon Quest stories are hit and miss. They're either, like, really fucking dark crazy, or sometimes they're just kinda eh. Like, I feel like... I feel like... 9's probably, like, honestly, one of my more disliked stories. Gameplay-wise was pretty good, though. But I didn't really dig the story so much. So, it's kind of a mixed bag with 9 for me. But 8, I loved 8. 8 was fantastic. I was so happy when Squire Enix was like, we're bringing 8 to America. I was like, yes! Yeah, because, you know, a lot of people, like, I don't know, like, how old you are, or, like, what you were doing when Dragon Quest VIII literally came to America, but, like, the Dragon Quest fan base was pretty, like, dire days back then in the West. Like, we weren't getting a lot of the spin-offs and shit. Like, we were missing entries and shit, and it's just like, are we gonna get 8? I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it. And then, beautiful trailer release and shit. It's really sad to hear when people say, like, oh, I bought Dragon Quest VIII for the Final Fantasy 12 demo disc. It's like, ugh. I don't really particularly remember having too much trouble in 9 on my end, but to be fair, like I said, the story's kinda not exactly the freshest thing in my mind. I mean, I remember the basic plot points, but like all the little minor details have kinda been fidgeted in behind things I personally find better. But, you know, but that's just me. Like, that, you know, I know, like, one of my other viewers, Patico, loves 9. Like, 9's one of his faves, so he always like, oh, could you not like it? Understandable. I have a lot of different games fighting for memory space in my head, so I always have a a bit of trouble remembering certain entries that don't leave, how should I say, a very memorable impression on me, if you get what I mean. You know, like, yeah, because, you know, you're naturally going to remember the experiences that you thought were more amazing than others, right? Yeah. Yeah. I need to actually do another Dragon Quest game, honestly. Like, I always loved Dragon Quest V, but I've never actually beat it. Like, I never, like, committed to, like, a whole playthrough of 5. Like, I never a long time ago when I was playing a translated SNES version when I was a lot younger. But I just never finished, not because I didn't like it, it's just, when you got as much crap as me, sometimes you get dragged around here and there, and it just, unfortunately, got, like, put behind stuff, and then, But I really, like, should, like, get, like, the next trilogy. Like, I never played all the way through 4, 5, and 6. 6 is considered the weakest out of the second trilogy. Oh, really? Honestly, I don't quite remember what the final boss actually looked like, to be honest. But yeah, nowadays you have the new versions of 1, 2, and 3, and then you got the reimagined 7, which I really, like, kind of iffy with the new version of 7. I mean, we already have a 3DS version they could have used. Yeah, not to get into story stuff, but I like I said, I remember the plot point stuff, so I remember who it is. I just didn't remember what it looked like exactly. But yeah, we try to avoid direct spoilers of other games in the stream unless it's actually like connected in some kind of story scene. So just a FYI, not to get too close though, if you don't mind. Oh no. I'm just giving a bit of a warning before it gets a little too close though, if you get what I mean. I do that out of respect for other people, because like for me, like for example, like if someone just like ruined Danganronpa V3's into me before I played it, I would probably hate that person for the rest of my life, because like that's an amazing experience to go through and shit. Like, you know, and I don't like taking that away from people, and I don't want people to take that kind of stuff away from me. Like, if somebody wants to go and spoil it for themselves, then, you know, that's fine. But like, I think you should have some choice in that. You get what I mean? So, like, unless there's like some kind of direct connection, I try to be a little cautious about that. If they're just throwing out there before we get a little too much into details. Okay, anyway, we need to go. I need to go visit the wood merchant town. What? Well, Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, have at least all had one re-release of some kind. Some more, way more than others. Dragon Quest 9 has not. Dragon Quest 10, being an MMO, kind of depends on what you mean. And of course, Dragon Quest 11, you know, still the newest entry in the main line. And then you got lots of spin-offs that have, let's see, the original Monsters and Monster 2 have had 3DS versions. None of the Joker games have really got re-released. Thinking of what else. Caravans never gotten a re-release. Caravans, I heard, was an interesting entry. Then you got Swords. Swords is probably going to be stuck in the Wii forever. I'd be surprised if they ever ported Sword to, like, anything else. Then you have Kinchan, which was a plug-and-play TV thing, which will probably also never get ported to anything, probably. That's a very interesting thing. 10 had a small offline mode. The offline mode for Dragon Quest X, which was, for one thing, it's no longer playable. The only way to, well, I mean, I guess it's subjectively not playable anymore. To play the offline mode, which was a small segment of story, a very small slice of story, in Dragon Quest X, as far as I understand, the only way to play it now is to get a physical Nintendo Wii copy. Because in the actual online version, as far as I understand, you can no longer play that anymore. So to play that, you'd have to get the ability to play a Japanese Wii game, be it modded or not modded or emulation, and play that physical copy of it. As far as I understand, the only way to play that. And again, that's just a slice of life piece of the game introductory thing, so, you know, not really anything I would count so much. I mean, if we're counting, like, enhanced versions that came, like, a year later or something, like, I wouldn't really count those, because, well, I mean, they'll just, here's some more stuff, a year later, we buy the game kind of thing. Not necessarily like, it's been a half to a decade, here's a new version. And hello, Way, welcome back to the life. We're trying out woodcutting. But if you're going to count, like, releases like that, I mean, then, yeah, I guess you got 11. And then I guess that would kind of answer the subjectivity with the MMO, because the MMO has been ported from, let's see, it originally launched PC and Nintendo Wii, if I remember correctly. Then it got the Wii U version. Then it has a PS4 version. I don't know if it has a PS5. I would assume if it doesn't, it probably just made the PS4 version backwards compatible. And I have no idea if Dragon Quest X is on Xbox. Exciting career choice. Yes. Very exciting. Believe me, as somebody who's chopped down thousands of trees in 7 Days to Die, I know how exciting and thrilling and amazing this life choice will be. Yay. No, my monies. $90 gold? I got more gold for giving, like stuff to NPC kills. Like, this is the least money I think I've gotten from anyone. For something that's technically a harder job than most of these tests. Now, to be fair, the Switch version of Dragon Quest XI, which is what I played through, was a very nice version. One of the scenarios they added was actually pretty... It's not about the money. It's about the satisfaction of destroying nature. Like, one of the characters really gets a really fun and... I really, like, honestly, I gushed over the scene in 11 so much that I was like, honestly, this scene made me actually love this character, like, so much. Because it, like, really shows, how should I say, like, more how they think. It's the kind of thing, like, they don't normally, like, express it per se, so it like gives you a little bit more like into the character, and it really made me like the character going forward so much. Like it's kind of sad to know that scene doesn't exist in its original release, because honestly it added a lot to that one particular character. But yeah, Dragon Quest IX has nothing, and to be honest, who knows if they ever will release it in any actual format again, honestly. I mean, it can work. I mean, it's not like the touchscreen really did a whole lot of crap, you know, it was just menus and maps from what I remember. It makes me feel robbed. I am playing on an actual 3DS. This is a captured modded 3DS. It is a original model. I bought it and had it modded by Loopy. So it is outputting the actual footage to the PC. So you are watching me play an actual 3DS game. So I am not playing on emulations or third party like phone tablet-y things. This is an actual 3DS I'm holding. I know that's probably not super common, because to be fair, these cables aren't fun! But I honestly like playing on the original hardware, so... Especially with the DS. Like, to me, I would imagine it would feel so weird playing DS on, like, some kind of single screen thing trying to fake functionality. Could take years to find one? Woo. Well, the Loopy mod works fine for me. You just download Loopy's, he has, like, actual personal software that, like, let's say I was playing a game where the bottom screen was literally, like, nothing. Like, right now, where it was just a black screen. Which, there's a few 3DS games that make, like, little, no use with the other screen sometimes. I could just capture one screen, because Loopy's software, there's two separate windows representing each of the DS screens. So I can treat each one as a separate capture and resize them. So, like, you know, I have the bottom screen currently on the bottom left, but I could do it in reverse and make the bottom screen the bigger focus and the top screen the smaller focus. I just would have to swap them around. Like, it gives you a lot of freedom on how you want to use the two screens in, like, OBS and such. But you do have to use his unique software with his mod. But Loopy was really cool, and, like, he actually did extra work for me for free of charge, basically. So, this 3DS, I got it secondhand, because my original 3DS was an XL. I got back when the second Escape, the Zero Escape game came out. That's when I got my XL. But this is a second-hand one I got when they were cheaper. Now all this shit's going up in price. Thank heavens I got it back when it was cheaper. But there was a problem with the SD card slot. So this 3DS would not recognize SD cards, which was a bit of a problem because some games, which I think this is actually one of them, requires an SD card to use for extra functionality. So, I asked him if there's anything he can do to look at that, and he said, yeah, I should be able to look at that, and I can just swap it out with when I know it works, and he did that free of charge. He just swapped it out with a functioning SD card slot thingy, and did the mod, and it all works fine. So, if you ever decide to do that, the Loopy one works. Now, back when I did it, Loopy was basically the only card capturing person in town. But over the years, several other people have showed up, like that mod, like the XLs and stuff. So there's several other options now. But Loopy used to be the only person in town, and you had to catch him when he was doing work because he kind of came and went. But yeah, I do get that feeling and not wanting to, like, I didn't want to mess up with, like, my original one, hence why I have a completely separate 3DS for that. Occasionally, when felling trees, you can obtain elder logs, which are more valuable. These sold for high prices and used can be obtained most easily from whale large trees. I doubt it's 1 in a million, but it might be whale. Well, I'm going to assume I know what you mean by legit 3DS. I appreciate you putting it that way, because I know sometimes some things are a little fishy. Swift. Yeah, I don't know anything that would let you do that with 3DS. I know you can do that with Game Boy stuff. There's ways of doing it with Game Boy, but yeah, that one I don't know. I mean, honestly, when it comes to, like, legit things, I mean, I'm on the up and up, which is why I don't mind actually saying emulation myself, because I don't use emulation unless I actually own them, which you have the legal right to make backup copies of your games for your own personal use. That is, at least in America. I think that's a little bit kinda in the gray area in Europe. Japan is way way bad in that front, though. Japan's like, nope, fuck you. Throw, like, hell, I mean, it's now illegal to fucking mod shit and sell it in Japan, regardless of what, like, the mod is, which is what happened to, like, one of the other people who started doing capture stuff. That there was a person who did that in Japan, and they passed that law, and they had to shut down because of it. Like, Japan is, not very, consumer rights in that kind of way. But, yeah, for me, it's really, like, I don't really go outside the bounds of the stuff I own, and if I own it, and for some reason I can't do it, on actual hardware for a stream or something. Like I've done emulation. Like Twitch has said in their terms of service that you know, like if you have the legit, like, you know, you're doing it the legit way, they don't really care. Though to be fair, like, you know, you can, like, let's be honest, there's a bunch of fucking people on fucking Twitch live streaming SNES crap right now that probably don't actually own any of the shit. Let's be honest. But I am what I would like to say one of the good ones. But, you know, these days I can't really blame some people because, you know, back when I used to do a little emulation more than I ever do now, like, I did more emulation probably when I was in, like, high school than, like, now. I think the last time I emulated anything was technically the PSP for Persona 1, because at the time I didn't have a proper way to actually capture PSP footage. Which, to be honest, capturing PSP footage is pretty blah anyway. Oh no, less party members. So what are you up to today, Way? I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see, you messed with, like, computer-y type stuff for a job, didn't you, Way? Yeah, so you messed with computer-y stuff. Well, that's always not fun when you can't figure out something going on with software. Software can be a annoyance. Somebody with a request? Ooh. I don't think I have any money now. Yeah. No, I didn't want to talk to you. I tried to talk to him. Hopeful? I'm hopeful. ancient witch. Everyone in the bar, stop what you're doing. I gotta do an ancient ritual. Choppy, choppy, happy tree, let the spirit come to me. Hear me, O forest lady, it is I. Hey ho, the coast. Well, frankly, I didn't think I'd ever call you like this again, but here we are. A young woodcutter from the heart of the elder has moved me, as unlikely as that seems. So please, wherever you are, drop what you're doing and lend us a hand. Whip. So I gotta find the forest lady. She's probably been kidnapped. Probably in the darkened... You gotta believe me. I mean, you're floating, so what was the problem? Wait, what? That contributed as rescuing? Ham sandwich vibe? I owe you one for getting my ability to flying to actually function. Wait, I just got the forest fairy to like join my party. Join my party and fight the enemies of evil. So where am I going now? This way? Well, actually, can I get my cat now? Can I get Way to join? Because it says there's 3 party slots, so... I got the introductory thing, so I should be able to get Way to join now. No, I do not. We did have a viewer during the last one talk about the DLC stuff. I would imagine to do the DLC, you'd either have to find, you know, places or do it the other way. What? Oh wait, I had to hit a separate button, didn't I? Gotta do that. Nope. I can't accept party members. I really don't like how they limit you from having people in your party. Well, I guess let's go this way now. Yeah, I really got used to, get used to not using. Yeah. See, over there. Here, I'll steal your crops. Thank you. So, what you're saying is I can't cut it right now. Ciao! Less party members. True friend of the forest. Honestly, like, handheld gaming's been dead to me since the Switch. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying here. It's like a true friend of the forest. Let's chop trees. I feel the subjectiveness here. Like, I mean, I guess it'd be one thing if I was a firefighter and making sure fires don't start, kind of trimming, but yeah, I don't think I'm the friend you need here, buddy. But yeah, like, to me, handheld gaming's been very, like, dead. Like, there's been long speculative rumors that Sony's been developing a new handheld. And honestly, like, if they played their cards right, I think there would be good space for them to be able to re-energize actual handheld gaming. Because, like, I mean, it's cool feature. You can take the Switch with you and stuff. But honestly, like, size factor-wise, it's fucking over. Like, it's, like, fucking too big to fit in any fucking normal pocket. Like, even a Vita fits in a fucking pocket. Like, I still say to this day, if Sony went the extra mile and made, like, the Vita TV thing, like, essentially the Switch dock, and made it where the two, like, work that way, like how Switch does, like, I think the Vita could have had a better chance at being more of a thing. But, yeah, you know, they made it, they abandoned it, they overpriced the fucking memory card shit. Eh. See, that's why laws where you can, like, legally back up your own copies and such is really important. And modern consoles are making those kind of things harder to do by having, like, what's the proper term for that shit? the BioOS or whatever shit that has like copyright shit on it. Like the PlayStation 1's version of that technically always just like went under several years, so now technically the BIOS, that's what they're thinking of. The BIOS, like BIOS and other like having online only fucking shit and stuff. Like they're finding ways to make it harder to actually be able to have the right to back up your own shit. Oh, ugh, game keys. Ugh. So that's how you tell a sweet spot. No. Yeah, there's been a few more, like, when the Switch 2 first came out, there was, like, 3 actual Switch games. Switch 2 games that were actually games, not keycards. There are more now, but there's still a lot of game keys. There's probably, like, a 5% games and 95% game keys. None of the limited companies have actually touched Switch 2 yet, either. Though Limited One Game has announced they are prepping their first Switch 2 release. So that'll be interesting to see how limited print companies deal with the Switch 2. But so far, no one's really touched them, especially Super Whale Games. Super Whale Games has almost been completely devoted to the Switch, so I was kind of surprised they've yet to touch Switch 2 themselves. I think there's 2 reasons for that. I think one is you get the people like me. Well, you know, we care about the ownership of the product, and we didn't buy a Switch 2. So why would you want to make it if a lot of the potential audience may not actually have a Switch 2 that care about it? So it probably makes it kind of iffy. I mean, the Switch 2 supposedly sold really well when it first came out. Those sales have slowed down from what I understand. So I think some of them are kind of like, because you have to think about this. Like, let's use the notorious Poop Slinger that parody meme company made a physical of on PS4. If you made Poop Slinger for the Switch 2 physical or game on cartridge, do you think a lot of normies are gonna buy it? Probably not. Probably not. So, you know, the people that want to have preserved versions of weird, random games, be it good or bad, you know, if they don't have a Switch 2, then, you know, some titles might not do as well as others. So I think that's kind of the reason none of them have touched it yet, but that's just my hypothesis on it. But yeah, at best Nintendo can hope that I might get one mid Switch 2 life. At some point, I will probably get a Switch 2, because there will probably be plenty of actual Nintendo games, limited print games and stuff to play on it by that time. But like, still, there's so little on the fucking thing that are actual games. And there's that point of view, too. Like, there needs to be something really fucking good to get me to get a Switch. The Switch 2 is just not high on my priority list unless there's some, like, severely awesome, and there's just nothing. Like, Nintendo to me, like, I don't know the last, like, actual Nintendo property I had a lot of fun with. Pokemon's going down the fucking, like, shittle in quality. Like, last several Pokemon games have been incredibly piss poor quality. So that doesn't get me interested. I'm not really a big Mario person. So I'm not really interested in most Mario games too much. Nintendo doesn't really do a whole lot of RPGs. They got Fire Emblem and the Mario Brothers series these days when it comes to RPGs, and that's probably the best hook on me, honestly. The Brothers series, like the last Brothers game on the Switch, I heard did pretty bad, so... And even then, that series was all way drying up over the last, like, 2 entries they had before that. Oh no, that means she's evil! Then he says, "You're selling it to the minister? That guy is as not friend to the forest as cannot be. How could you sell a precious tree so..." Oh sweet, he just automatically takes it out. So what is the sweet spot thing? Yeah. So the sweet spot thing works with the mining too. So that's sweet. I don't have to actually change my thing. He'll just pull it out. That's good. That's good, because that would have been annoying to have to go in your menu and dig through your shit and be like, eh. So that's good. Ugh. I wonder, like, if you get a horse, does a horse use your SP, or do you just keep all your SP? Because that definitely would make the whole getting around thing much better. Especially if you get your own horse and it doesn't run away. See, even he paid more money. Of course, to be fair, it's supposed to be more werewolf log, so... So slow. Yeah, I'm gonna be curious about the Steam Flame. I heard now you can't buy, like, any of the index stuff, supposedly. I heard, like, other than, like the little, mask things, I hear, like, you can't buy any of the stuff, which really is kind of a downer if you need, like, new index controllers. Technically, I have tried it, because Wei was interested in playing it with me, but, we didn't get around to actually trying the co-op mode of it. But, I would probably say there's probably a good chance Wei might, revitalize that, probably by the time I finish this. He might dwell into that idea, maybe. I'm assuming he's talking about Fantasy Life. Is what I'm assuming. Oh, refresh my mind which thing you're talking about exactly. Which line of dialogue are you commenting on? See, this is the problem with having, like, delays with chat. Oh, yeah, so yeah, like, I was commenting on his comment, asking if I'm gonna be trying the sequel. Which, like I said, I'm assuming he meant Fantasy Life. So, exactly what we always said. Pay attention, slap him! No, I'm just kidding. In that day, Atticus became the enemy of the forest. It's time for a promotion! A rare privilege to viciously murder the woods. Less party members. Yeah, so see, the options there would be either do it as a non-stream game, or, well, technically there's three options. Could either do it as a non-stream game, could do it as a mix, because I think you said, like, the multiplayer doesn't really progress the story, I think. So, if that's the case, could technically do, like, multiplayer on the side, like, in a grindy sense, and then continue, like, actual story progression? Because I think you said something about that, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so technically could do it kind of a mix kind of scenario thing. Which would definitely help, like, in an off-screen grindy kind of way. Let's see if the trees respawn, so we can fell them again. Didn't find it. There we are. Now, part of something I wonder, can you fulfill, like, life stuff as a different life? Like, could I, like, change back the mage and actually progress, like, things I need? Or do I have to change back to actually, like, upgrade? Like, so, I'm fledgling on that, fledgling on that. Yeah, they're all fledgling. So, like, let's see. So I need to defeat... Does a wizard defeat one spooky found? So these are like all the things I can do, and I just have to get that many stars to rank up. So like I don't have like a specific thing I need to do per se. Just need to do enough of certain things. So I gotta get another Elden log to get that, so I didn't count the one I got. Oh no, you're fine. I'm talking like when I talk about spoilers. So to make it clear, because I know like I accidentally did it. Like so, normally when how would I say? Normally, when I'm referring to spoilers, I'm referring strictly to story-related stuff. If it's like a secret story cue or like about like background stuff about a character or stuff. But I had ran into one time where somebody used spoilers to refer to mechanics, just pure mechanics. And I deeply apologize to that person because I was like, I did not mean, because it had no story significance or anything. It was just a mechanical thing, and they sadly got a little sad about that, and I deeply did. So I generally don't, unless I like say I want to learn it on my own. I don't really mind having gameplay like tips per se. But like the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is like be like, oh, this is the villain, this is the little backstory, or this is what happened. You know, like don't do that kind of thing unless I actually ask for it. Like because I like figuring out stories myself. Come on, I want to chop this tree down. Your tree is slow. 37. See, what's kind of funny is you got all these trees everywhere and you can't touch any of them. Lots more. So we gotta find some more trees we can chop down. That's the mine that way. Yeah, see, this is gonna be the annoying thing. It's just like, what tree is cuttable and not cuttable? I like the nighttime music. It's really nice and relaxing. Probably would do better to, like, actually go to the outside area. Get out of town, probably find more trees that way. See, no, I had to go south. I'm still getting, like, used to, like, locational stuff. You'll have to forgive me. Like I said, this is only the 3rd day. It's not all in my head yet. I went over 1 because I need the stamina to do stuff. So I'm assuming these are all not true. How about this one now? You gotta get used to how to tell the choppy ones from the non-choppy ones. Oh yeah, I should get way actually. See, you teleported, right? Yeah. Get me to the central square. I can pick up way. That pie. Come forth, way. To mighty battle with trees. Yeah, we've been getting that a lot. We've been getting that a lot. So I need mutton, which should come from sheep, you would think. Or wolves. No way! Got too big for his butchers. Main joke though is I don't think you can access that. So when it comes to online functionality for 3DS games, to my understanding, if it has a local option, there was apparently a system someone made to spoof that into online. So basically, you'll basically use local to fake local, but it's really actually doing it over your Wi-Fi, ironically. So technically, as long as this game has local, which I think it likely does, most multiplayer 3DS games usually had a local mode. In theory, if we got that software to spoof it to the Wi-Fi of our internets, technically you would be able to still play multiplayer through that kind of means. Oh, that was it. Stun him! So yeah, so I'm assuming I still like so I did a strong thing, so that should, assuming that counts towards it. Yeah, so it does count. So, well, no, I'm actually still but I'm my thing I need to test is whether I can do it as something else. So let's see. Okay, so fireball magic, deal final blow with fireball. So now I don't know if it needs to be charged, so we'll test that. We'll see if that because I don't know if you have to do that as. Damn, fireball got a lot stronger. It was doing pretty minuscule damage. Now it's getting a lot better. Okay, let's see if that applied. We were at 4. Okay, so it does apply. So yeah, so you can actually on stuff when you're even not that class. So yeah, so technically there's no real downfall to just unlocking all the classes and then hopefully on the shit as you do stuff. Free party members. That's way. Well, how can I refuse? Like, this is way. So, just to let you know how my streams work. So, I have 3 days that I do main streams. And depending on work and that, I may sometimes have random extra streams. But Wednesday is for short games. It's usually just an hour long thing after work. It's to try and work on shorter little indie game stuff that's usually anywhere between 2 to like 5, 10 hours kind of range of games. Is for Wednesday shorty stream. Friday and Saturday are the actual main streams where we get several hours. Friday is viewer choice. So as you can see in the lower middle area of the stream. So basically anytime anyone uses Twitch channel points, subscribe, gift subs, gives bits, patrons also get a monthly vote thing. But basically, things like that can all trigger votes. But yeah, like channel points is obviously the freemium way to vote. But people vote on stuff, and when I finish whatever's currently being played on Friday, when that ends, whatever's that next highest voted up thing becomes next one. So this was Way's initial choice that he put on the list and been voted up by various ways of that. So Way wanted a cat, so he is a cat now. See, he is a cat. He is a lovable little cat. Oh no, in the mining. Nope, no sweet spot in that one. That's kind of fail when it's like facing the cliff. Like, isn't that a little unfair? Well, I couldn't really find anyone who wanted to join me, so I got a pet because pet will join me. What? What the fuck just happened? There was a wolf there and then he just went poof! No, he dodged. Wakes up in the back rooms. The back rooms. Why are you waking up in the back rooms? No, pick it up. Now, can I chop while I do this? No, looks like it drops it. Oh no, it blocks it also. But yeah, so basically we just want to like try everything out. You gotta find where to get mutton. Like I said, I would think it would come off the sheep, I would think. I mean, mutton usually is forward to like with sheep meat. Stop picking on my cat. Level 10. A possible explanation of the wolf disappearing. Oh, it went to the back rooms. Gotcha. Wanna fight? Get wrecked. Still need to find a royal grasshopper. Let's see. Trying to find that spot where I know there was a grasshopper somewhere to the like white side here. Maybe it was for the north and oh yeah, you can't run with that. Ah, there it is. Yay, we finally got one! Okay, now who was it that, wait, what was the... let's see, who was it? So, other requests. That was in the town square. Looks like on the town square. So, head on over and turn those all in. Wah. So if I can actually complete tasks with the lives as other jobs, can I also get them upgraded by not changing as well, or do I have to change to actually do any promotion upgrades? Because that would be a little annoying, but I guess it's somewhat understandable too. A little. Just a little. Hey, I saw that. That's a serious question. Like, seriously, can I like, if I was to meet several upgrade requirements for Wizard right now, would the game let me go to the Master and upgrade Wizard without changing into a Wizard? Still not asking. Or vegetables pooping out vegetables? Don't ask. Anyway, worry about that little whale here. So who won what again? He won mustard. There's the royal glass off one. See, I mean, even for a fucking bug, he pays me better than the wood I gathered for that one. Okay. Well on. It's all about the learning experience too. Okay, then... So there was one more I had to turn in this area, didn't it? The forest mushrooms. So this is on the town square. Unless they're inside a building. Oh wait. There we go. Getting a whole bunch of requests all done. Remember, kids, hoard everything, and you can eventually get someone's request done. And oops on you. Oh wait, no, there's a. Okay, we don't got any other ones torn in at the moment. So I do have to wonder. So what do you really unlock by getting promotions exactly, though? Like, does the game be like? Is this one of those games where it's like, this tree's too tough with your current skill set? You'll have to come back with your, a little stronger, Link. Well, actually, what am I doing? I wanted to go to the woodcutting guy. He torn in his thingamabobs for now. We got a few of them. It'd help if I went the right direction to go somewhere and somewhere else and there. Oh, what you got a request for? Actually, I think I have your request already. Well, that was a quickie there. No, that was a question. See, to unlock new skills and crafts. Ah, so they lock crafting behind different links. That makes sense. Yeah, because I was gonna be like, if they don't really lock anything behind any of them, what encouragement do you have to really want to level them up in the actual classes? So, like rank-wise, so that makes sense. So skills and some, so that means like I can get more stuff like as the fighting classes then. Okay, so do I have anything to turn in? So let's see. So currently, I got the spooky. So let's see if it'll let us turn that in then. Let's test this theory. So I think the wizards were on this side, weren't they? Yeah, they're over here. Okay, so yeah. So if you want to do a report card, you do have to change into the class. Okay. So we have confirmed that. So you can own the stuff as other classes, but you can't officially report it in unless you're that actual class. So you do need a swap for that. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Anyway, so we got that. So basically, you know, you just unlock like most of the field stuff. You should really just unlock them. So you can just, fishing I'm not sure about, like, immediately worried about. See, the stats and levels are another thing they do in this to prevent you from just finding your way to warp to in-game area and killing stuff. Yeah, because I have noticed every time the wank up thing happens, they give you some additional stats. We got 3,600. Hopefully they cheap to buy, because that's the highest amount of, like, douche awful we got. Some monies. Oh wait, I'm going too far. Ah. Okay, so I'd say we got the basics of woodcutting unlocked. So mining and woodcutting probably level up pretty, like, decently, because you'll always want in trees and minerals to dig up. Though a different system was chosen for the sequel. Skill trees. So these are gathering, and these are likely crafting. So I imagine these all craft stuff you find. Cooking, I doubt you need to actually gather stuff. So I would say, obviously, fishing is a gathering. So these all likely use things you find as all these and as not these, but so like these probably use like flowers and random crap you find. Taylor, I'm not sure. Taylor, how, like, can you gather like wool in that? So maybe that does a little bit. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on where you get wool and cloth stuff from. Unless you just get from moldering shit. But we only got those two unlocked. Yeah. So I would say we probably want to try fishing next. And for now, we shouldn't need to really worry about these too much, because we need stuff to get to probably use any of them. So might as well just focus on gathering shit, and then we can try out some of these. That way we'll actually have stuff that we can do with the craft, if that makes any sense. So I'd say let's try fishing out today, and then we can go and just scally about a little bit to that. So start my new life as a fisherman. Yeah, the usual blah blah blah, go this way and that.